Okay, hi to everyone, and in this video I'm going to reviewing this Behringer Poly D, but not only reviewing it as you maybe expect. It's just going to be my honest opinion and my point that if you're not a millionaire, if you struggle with your money, you probably need to get one of those things as fast as possible, because who knows what's happened next, all this tariff situation, because of course this thing not made in United States. And so I wanted to make review because there's many great synths out there, Moogs, like synths that cost 500-600 grand, 6,000 grand, 6K, 10K. So there's a lot of great synthesizers, but if you're not a millionaire, if you wanted to explore analog sound, this is probably one of the best synthesizers on the market right now. Because when I started my music journey, I usually heard that just use the VST plugins, they sound amazing, you don't need the analog synthesizer, and turns out that all of this is just a bunch of bullshit, because the truth is the analog sound of pretty much any analog synthesizer, it's way above any digital synthesizer you can make. And you can see on the back side of the synthesizers, I have some Roland Boutique series. Roland Boutique is probably sound better than a fully digital VST instruments, but it sounds terrible compared to true analog synthesizers. So every digital synth out there, even it's a physical synth or it's a fully software synth, I have them all. I have Diva, I purchased a Diva, I purchased a Serum, I purchased a whole bunch of digital stuff, I don't want to be offense anyone, I don't want to be rude, but it's a digital crap, The only true sound, it's an analog sound. The only true, and if you have an ear, immediately you will distinguish the difference between how this synthesizer sounds. And recently I just made grabbed this thing. This is called the Roland Boutique XG08 series, and it's a pretty playful thing to play, but if you compare the sound of this synthesizer with Poly D, it's not compatible. It's a whole different world of sound. This is why I urge you, if you're just starting your music, not buy these micro freaks. Do not buy this Roland Boutiques, or the best Roland Boutiques is the two SH100A and GO06A. Sorry, my pronunciation not perfect, but you get it. So this is the two Roland Boutiques that I probably recommend you to buy. But if you starting, not buy it if you have an option to buy this one, because this is better in any way, shape or perform. No digital synths is even close to sound of an analog synthesizer. And I just wanted to let's put a hold on this. And maybe okay, we came back later to. So my point is that try to not buy, because my mistake was I think that those digital, so I believe those notion that it's a 21st century, we have this great synthesizers like Diva. I purchased Diva, and I believe that the digital sound is just like a sound that you have from analog synth, but this is not true. This is utterly not true. When I first bought my first analog synthesizer, it was Behringer Model D, probably the most cheapest one out there on the market. I was shocked the difference of the sound that it makes, and also probably the second most important part of this is not just sound, it's versatility and sound modulation. That you can crank the real knobs, not those just, you know, playing by the mouse or just this little tiny like you have on Roland Boutique. So if you in the market right now, and if you consider to buy, for example, something like Roland Boutique or Micro Freak or I don't know, any of this stuff, I recommend you to buy the analog synthesizer. And one of the cheapest one out there is right now is Behringer Poly D. So this is going to be my review of this Behringer Poly D, and what I like the most about the synthesizer, what feature do I use, and overall review of this synth. So, and I want to just quick note that right now on the market you have the only digital synth that I have experienced sound truly amazing is FM synth from Yamaha. It's Rephase DX synthesizer, but it is not so playful. It's not so convenient to use to modulate sound. Yes, Yamaha DX Rephase sounds amazing, not too much better than this, not better than this Poly D, but it sounds different, but it sounds amazing too. It sounds like natural analog synthesizer. It's FM synthesis, it's a different kind of synthesis there. But this Yamaha Rephase, it's very hard to customize the sound, but in this case it's really easy. Okay, so let's dive in. The first of all, what I need to tell you that the quality of this thing is just truly amazing, because this is a real wood. This is a real wood out there, and it feels and touch like a premium thing. I don't have the fancy stuff before. I don't have the Moog synthesizer. I don't have the 10 grand to buy one of these things. But I can tell you that this is quality. This, yeah, I used to have the Audi A6, and these knobs, these buttons, it sounds exactly like on the Audi A6 sedan 2021. I can tell you that it's not a bad thing for a cheap synthesizer. So the quality of this thing is amazing for this price. Well, I need to warn you about the Behringer, because sometimes Behringer, it's not really reliable, and I experienced this by myself. I have bought a distortion pedal, and its distortion pedal is die out, so I don't have the distortion pedal anymore. And sometimes it's happened with Behringer, so you need to be like aware of where you buy this thing. So buy it with a warranty. Buy this thing, Behringer stuff, with a warranty, because who knows what kind of hand was previously this particular model. So take a look at this seriously, because you know you don't want to like your cutoff frequency knob turn off on the next week that you buy the synthesizer. So you need to. This is probably one of the most important knob that you have. Okay, so In this video, I'm going to be using the sound from the synthesizer so you can hear it by yourself. And I just put it in the raw. I don't gonna be edited in any way. I don't gonna be put the compressor, put the EQ. So just a raw sound from this synth gonna be across this whole video. So this keyboard, this K, is the best K that I experienced in my life, because first of all, this is a full side keyboard, and speaking of which, I can show you my first synthesizer that it's a Yamaha Reface. It sounds really good, but it's, you know, you have tiny little keys here, and pretty much all budget synthesizers have them. And the quality of this keyboard was not shocking to me. Yeah, it's probably shocking because I didn't expect the quality of such quality of this keyboard. I don't know, maybe the top tier synthesizers from Moog or from Subsequential had some sort of quality, but I didn't expect from the cheap synthesizer to be able to have quality of the keyboard like this. And honestly, I think this keyboard can be used as a MIDI keyboard, and you can see I use it as a MIDI keyboard. Yes, it's don't have those bells and whistles like the Arturia K-step. You don't have the option to switch MIDI channel on the fly, but this quality of this keyboard is even better than much more better than actually Arturia K-step, and I have one. So, and I have an Arturia K-step, and it's a pretty good quality keyboard, but this not compatible. This is a way above quality that you have in a different synthesizer. So, you know, this is a matter. Quality is matter, because when you have a synthesizer in front of you and you didn't particularly like how this how this feels, this is arpeggiator. Okay, if you have the synthesizer and you don't like how this feels, the quality of this thing, you don't gonna receive the pleasure that you need. You don't receive enjoyment in order to create music. So this is a very important thing. So design matters, quality matters, and in this term for the budget, this Poly D is, you know, smokes. It's cooks competitors. It's really cooks competitors. I don't know. Maybe there's gonna be new synths on the market, but right now, this Behringer, it's outstanding. So okay, let's move on. So quality of this whole thing is amazing. If you're not the millionaire, maybe you have the Moogs for 10 grand, maybe it's gonna be normal for you. But if you're just a cheap explorer like me, who usually used to use digital virtual instruments, virtual plug-in instruments, so you will be like amazed by this quality, because you definitely not expect this. Okay, so move on. So the sound of this thing is amazing, and I really like the richness and the depth of this sound of this thing. Okay, the keyboard is great. I'm not a fancy player Okay, so what do we have here? We have 4 oscillators. You can adjust them, but if you want to play polyphonic mode, if you want to play chords, I know this sounds terrible, but if you want to play polyphonic chords, you need to set up in identical position. So you can experiment with this how much you want. It depends on the style of the music you want to play. But if you want to be able to extract chords from this thing, you need to make sure that every oscillator is tuned and on the same settings like the other ones. Okay, so these oscillators, these analog oscillators, it sounds great. And you have control over them. This is volume knobs, this is a turn on and off. And also you have external in. This is a great feature of this synthesizer because you can use it. And for example, I'm going to be using my Roland SH01A. This is a great thing in the back, and I'm going to whoa, take it easy. You can adjust the volume here. And so it is a without. And you can use the own output from the phones, for example. You can use to enrich the sound, to make the sound richer and experiment. So you can set up the sync out, sync in, and you can like trigger the arpeggio or some kind of pattern on the external synth, and using the cutoff frequency. So for example, I'm going to be turn off all the oscillators and I'm going to keep only external sound, and I'm going to be using it the poly D as a filter, and I'm going to be switching to, for example, different tone. Overload, it's created distortion. And you can use this poly D as an analog filter. This is very convenient if you wanted to explore some experiment with the sound, with the different sounds. So you can use this thing as external filter. So noise. Yeah, you can also add noise to external input, external in, and create interesting sound designs. And also you can add oscillators and create interesting sounds. So we can use couple of analog synths you can use. The digital synth, if you connect the digital synth like Roland Boutique and pass it through this analog filter, the sound gonna be, you know, more realistic. The sound gonna be more analog. So if you have the digital synth right now and you think, oh, I already bought, you know, digital synth, why do I need analog? So you can use them together in order to create interesting sounds. And okay, so we're gonna turn off the exit. We're gonna turn off the arpeggio. So let's move on. So we just, I don't want to like explain whole synthesizer, but I wanted to make my point here. So my point is you have nice chord system here, nice sound from the chords, and also you have the deep reach uni if you need to like fat bass. If you need a fat bass. So emphasizes, it's delete some of the low frequencies from the sound. So you notice this, right? So this uni mode, it create a little bit dissonance, a little bit fat sound, you know, and mono trigger all oscillators all together and also create rich sound. And also you can enrich it with external synth, and take a look. Of course, it depends what the external sound you have, but it also can really enrich the fatness of the sound. And also, you have two main things here. It's a chorus and distortion. So let's turn off the distortion. You see, and it's an analog distortion. And you can create interesting sounds, custom sounds with this. Distortion with oscillators, with external in. And also you can reach this with the chorus. Chorus is also analog. So no plugin, no VST instrument can create such unique and analog, expressive, original sound pattern that you can create in analog synthesizer. And the quality of this two like plugins or like effects, effects, it's more adequate word. So quality of this so the quality of this, oh, let's experiment. We need to, let's experiment, because I didn't actually know what happens if we turn external in, and what happens if we are applying, if we're going to apply yeah, so you can apply these effects to external in and create interesting so you can apply these effects and create interesting sound designs. So you can use this effects, analog distortion and analog chorus, to modulate the external sound, and use this poly D as a filter. So right now I don't use any oscillators. I just use poly D as a filter because I turn off all oscillators from the poly D. Yeah, it's fun to play with. The ability to create unique sounds here are enormous with this external in and analog sound of these oscillators. It's a little bit out of tune, but okay, we'll just leave it like this. Okay, so this two main effects here, it's distortion and chorus, and this filter section, LFO section, I don't think I need to explain you. It's pretty much the same on all synthesizers. So attack, delay, sustain. So this is the amount of contour, emphasis. This is a filter. This is a LFO. This is a LFO for the filter. This is a LFO for the oscillators. Not really useful thing that I think this synthesizer have is the sequencer. Sequencer really tricky, but if you wanted to use is to create melodies. If you want to create just okay, so we need to stop this, we need to... Okay, so I press Shift, Reset and Pattern. So I just delete whole pattern and let's make a new pattern here. Okay, that's enough. So we're creating this. And the feature of this sequencer, yeah, you can create this arpeggio style melodies pretty good, pretty fast. And also, if you synchronize this poly D to external, currently I synchronize to EP, so I just can adjust the BPM, the tempo on external drum machine, so you can sync in this synthesizer to external drum machine, and this is gonna be affect arpeggiator, how it's gonna behave. So for example, so see this synchronized to external drum machine, and this is a very convenient way to actually use this synth. Just synchronize it with external drum machine in order to create interesting arpeggios. And currently we play not arpeggio, we play sequencer, and we have ability to transpose this to different keys. Okay, let's try the glide. Glide didn't affect this. Okay. But, okay, this step sequencer and sequencer is pretty handy if you just wanna make arpeggio style melodies. But if you wanna create like chord style melodies on this sequencer, you can use the application that comes with this thing through USB. You just need to connect this to computer, and this thing have pretty useful software that you can use to create the complex melodies, the comprehensive melodies, and save them on a PC. It's pretty convenient way to actually, and then load this melody to this poly-D and use them. So for example, I just created this melody, and let's press store button, and I just press store button, and I just turn it to poly mode, and this, you see, creates chords melody. So as simple as this. So combine this synthesizer with external drum machine or sampler to send the syncing data, and use this keyboard as a MIDI keyboard, because the quality of this case is enormous for this price. Not compatible with any other MIDI keyboards out there on the market. I use the native instruments, native instruments. I forgot the name of this keyboard, but it's a pretty expensive one, so it's cost around $200–300. So the keyboard on this thing is better than any. So, and also I have Akai Professional MIDI keyboard, and it's also not comparable the quality of this keyboard. So this keyboard is truly amazing. You can use this as a MIDI keyboard to to create melodies on the other synthesizers. If you don't have the great budget to purchase the full-length analog synthesizer from Moog for 10 grand. So this keyboard is the better than the most keyboard out there. It's better than the most MIDI keyboard out there. So you can use this, and you can also use external in volume in order to process the sound through these analog filters, and this creates unique sound designs, and use these two effects also to apply on top of them, and also use this arpeggiator sequencer to create comprehensive arpeggios and melodies. And if you want to create melodies, it's probably gonna hard to exhibit on the synthesizer without the application on the PC or on the Mac. Yeah, but if you want to create comprehensive melodies and just load it into the synthesizer with the chords and little accents, it's better way to use the software application. But the possibility that you can do it in a convenient way, in a fast way, just press a couple of buttons, it's truly amazing. So what do we have? We have great quality, we have great sound from this thing, not even close. Don't believe if you heard on YouTube or from some guys who sell the VST plugins, who sells this kind of digital modulated synthesizers. There's a big gap in sound from analog to even the Roland Boutique series. There's a big gap. And if you try one of these analog synths, if you try this Poly D, you can hear it by yourself. Because when you listen to YouTube, sometimes they compress quality, first of all, and the second thing, they can enhance the sound with the plugins, with some sort of EQ compression and, you know, universal audio, like warmer analog plugins like master tape and stuff like that. So you can hear these modules, the digital synthesizers, and you can, oh, it sounds not so bad, maybe I need to spend a couple of $100. So don't do it, because I spent, I don't remember how much, but maybe $200 on Diva synthesizer. And don't get me wrong, it sounds good for digital, these virtual instrument. It sounds not bad, of course. But if you compare this with this analog synth, this Poly D, it's not comparable. It's a whole different story. It's another league. It's don't believe that you can create such rich and true an analog sound on a virtual instrument. That's not possible. It's not possible in 2025, and it was not possible in prior years. So this is marketing, and they try to sell you these digital instruments. So don't believe them. Use analog, because I really regret that I buy so much digital synthesizers and plugins when I start to make music, because if I just bought maybe this Poly D and maybe some not so expensive maybe analog synthesizer from different brands, I don't know, I don't research the market right now, but maybe subsequent make some cheap synthesizers. I don't actually know, but what I know is that no matter how quality the virtual instrument you have, it's not compatible with the cheapest and the simplest analog synthesizer out there on the market. And you can see on the back side, I have my first analog synthesizer. It's Model D also from Behringer. It's my first analog synthesizer, and so just just buy one of this thing. Or the Model D, it's mono. It have a couple of oscillators, I guess 3 of them, but it's mono synthesizer, analog synthesizer, and it's already sound better than any digital synthesizer out there. So if you have ability, if you have enough money to buy this Poly D, so do it right now, because these trade wars are going to be exaggerated, and who knows how much this thing is going to cost. The most useful thing is the sound of oscillators, 4 oscillators, the noise, the external in that you can create custom sounds, experimental sound patterns, and also of course this LFO filter section, and also of course these 2 effect sets, outstanding quality, and also of course arpeggiator and sequencer. And also arpeggiator, the last thing I wanted to show you, that this thing have interesting presets already built into this Poly D. So let's take a quick look on this. So you don't need to press shift, you just press this 1 to 8, and this changes the pattern of arpeggiator. Okay, so this is pretty useful thing, this arpeggiator. One thing that I think the lack of, if the control arpeggiator for transpose, I didn't know how to do this, and so I can control the sequencer, transpose it throughout the keyboard, but arpeggiator, I don't know how to do this, or it's not available here. So this is my review of this Poly D. I bought it around 6 months ago, and you can see it's a little bit dusty, it's not new. And this is my review. It's not sponsored by anyone, and I hope you will enjoy it. And if you do, just press the like button and subscribe to my channel, and go to the comment section and share your thoughts on this. Okay? I wish you a very nice day, and good luck.